So speaking of creepy,
Yes.
let's talk about Red.
Turning Red,
Which Miracle is going to be. She's going to love this, I'm sure. I was going to skip this one. I was going to skip covering this one because I just thought it was kind of fodder, and it was like, oh God, it's not clickbait, but it's very like easy. Like somebody lets one hang over the top of the plate, you're going to hit a home run every time. Let's try to discuss this from a way that's not so reactionary.
Yeah.
So it says Turning Red was unapologetic about including real conversations about periods. My initial reaction was,
I know. I was like, when we first talked about this subject, I was hoping I was wrong.
yeah.
I was hoping I was wrong, and I was like, oh, it's this cute coming of age story. No, it's about periods, you guys. It's about periods.
Technically, that does fall in line with coming of age story.
I know.
It's just weird that they have to make it into like a plot point, but we'll get into it. So it says, Turning Red crew was unapologetic about including conversations about periods. Now remember, this movie isn't out yet, so we haven't seen it yet. But these are the articles that are being written about it. It says, according to Turning Red producer Lindsay Collins, the production crew behind Pixar's upcoming puberty-themed film was unapologetic about ensuring that the film included real conversations about periods and about these moments in girls' lives. Now, here is why I want to talk about this. When I was on IRL, we talked with Dallas Sagne about action movies and the way that we've basically substituted in most of the modern day action movies why you get all these all-female reboots, and they think they're doing it for equality purposes, but what it really is they're just taking stories about typically male things and putting female actresses or actors into that role. So you're not actually telling the stories of women, you're telling male stories with female stand-ins. This is at least telling a actual real world female story or dealing with an actual real world female issue that I can actually, I understand it. I get what they're coming from. Is it something I want to see? No,
Not really.
But yeah, like, could I see you wanting to see this? Sure. I mean, maybe.
I don't know, because I was
You're more open-minded than me.
I'm kind of like, I was kind of excited until I read an article. You don't have this article pulled up, but there was a different article from a different website, and they said, this one critic said, I'm happy this is unapologetically horny.
No, I have that article here.
Oh, goodness.
Variety reviewer Courtney Howard praises Pixar's Turning Red as unapologetically horny. We'll get to that.
I don't want to know that about a little kid.
I know, right? So it says the latest film from the popular Disney studio, Turning Red, follows the story of Mei Li, a young Chinese-Canadian girl who finds herself in a not-so-subtle metaphor for female puberty, turning into a giant red panda anytime she finds herself overwhelmed with strong emotions. Collins revealed at the Pixar team's enthusiasm for broaching the topic of menstruation during a promotional interview for Turning Red given to Polygon's Petrana Radulovic.
Yes.
Cool name. Alongside the film's director and co-writer Donna C. I always feel bad with the names. But here's the thing. Okay. It is, what's the term they use up here? So it says, a not-so-subtle metaphor for female puberty, turning into a giant red panda anytime she finds herself overwhelmed with strong emotions. I want to draw attention to one of the worst writers of male puberty, and that's J.K. Rowling, who had no idea how to write what it means to be a teenage boy. I think at one point referring to Harry's sexual desire as like, or attraction to like Ginny Weasley as like a dragon rising up and sniffing the air, which was just creepy and weird. And yes, she didn't really know how to write teenage boy puberty, so maybe these people will have better luck doing it with female.
That was not in the book. I hope that wasn't.
Yes,
the book.
it was.
Oh God. Okay. At least it's better than this anime Parasite. I love this anime, but luckily, the anime didn't follow the source material, which is the manga, because he had a boner and like his
Thank you for that.
So what happened was, so in Parasite, obviously in the title, there's a bunch of parasites, but his parasite didn't invade his brain. It invaded his right hand. So the parasite is named Miggity. And he
Should have been called Giggity.
that's great.
Giggity.
But yeah, so Miggity feels the insatiation of his boner and turns into a boner.
Oh, God.
So luckily, the anime series didn't do that. They didn't follow it because they're like censorship. So in the anime, they displayed a little joke. He was like, "I feel something rising."
Well, that's how they do it in the Harry Potter one. He's like, it felt like a dragon rising to the surface. I'm like, just creepy and weird. I don't need to hear that stuff. Like, parents are already bad enough about talking to their kids about this type of stuff. I don't need weirdo writers doing it too. But I will say that I will give them credit. They're not telling a male story with female stand-ins. They're telling a story about a young woman's, awakening, I guess.
Yeah.
Is it something I want to see? No, but not every movie in the world has to be made for me.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it.
My question is, why a red panda? Is it because red pandas are more ferocious?
Perhaps so.
They're so cute, but they're mean.
Is that true?
I don't know. Let me search it up.
Why do you always do that? You're like, they're so ferocious. They're also, but they're mean. I'm like, you say that like you're like a panda expert. When you are not a panda expert, you need to look it up and actually know this stuff.
That's how you build up confidence.
Yeah, apparently. Like those memes, it's like when you lie on your resume, but you got the job, and it's like a dog with spots in a thing with a bunch of,
How do red pandas get angry? Pandas are nocturnal in captivity, so they do not interact with much people, even with raised by hand. Red pandas have been known to get aggressive. Yeah, so they are aggressive. So that's the metaphor.
I love videos of regular pandas eating carrots and regular pandas in like habitats where they fall over and they try to sit on the swing and they can't sit on the swing. It's the most adorable thing ever.
It's so cute, but did you know that red pandas and pandas are not related?
I didn't know that.
Red pandas are actually more related to raccoons than actual panda bears.
Honestly, if you look at that picture on your, that makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, they're more related to raccoons, but recently, some scientists disproved that and said they're not even related to raccoons.
Learn something new every day.
But yeah, they are aggressive. So I like that metaphor that females are aggressive when they're on their periods. Thank you. Thank you for telling us that.
At least they're accurate. Published on the 7th of February, the interview opened with she explicitly confirming that May's red panda form was a metaphor for not just puberty, but also what we inherit from our moms and how we deal with the things we inherit from them. She further explained May is growing up, caught between two worlds, East and West, but also at this time in her life, she's blossoming into adulthood. And all of these changes are happening not just to her body, but her relationships and her mom and her friends. Okay, when I saw this where it says plastic is drastic, justice for the earth, save the earth, I literally died of secondhand cringe.
Yeah, I did too.
Like, look at the face on the girl holding the plastic is drastic sign. That is the bitchiest, most judgmental face I've ever seen in my entire life. And then her face holding up, that's literally the face of somebody who, when she reaches dating age, will go to her, well, if they get broken up with, will flatten your car tires.
Yeah, also, I thought that was a dude right next to her, the white chick. I thought that was a dude, and then I realized that's a chick.
Which one?
The one that...
Will save the earth?
Yeah.
No.
That's a chick.
That's a guy.
It's a chick.
It's got to be a guy.
It's a chick.
Okay.
Because, like, when you listed all the voice actors, they listed...
Doesn't mean not a guy character. It could still be a girl playing a guy. They would never let a guy voice a girl now, I'm sure, but they'll let a girl voice a guy. So we'll go down here. We'll go over to this other article because I'm praising them for telling a story about something that, it's not just a woman taking over the role for a traditionally male character. They're telling a young woman's story. I don't know if this is a movie I care to see, but I'm okay with that.
I just want to...
It's this issue. It's this thing from the Variety reviewer that's a little bit weird. Variety reviewer Courtney Howard praises Pixar's Turning Red as unapologetically horny. Oh boy. According to Variety reviewer Courtney Howard, one of the highlights of Pixar's upcoming Turning Red is the fact that it is, quote, unapologetically horny. Set to red alert in Disney's Pixar's So we'll go down here and say set to hit theaters on March. Oh, Disney. Oh my, they're not even, see, it's another Disney. It's another Pixar movie that's not getting a theatrical release. It's going to Disney
No,
Plus.
we talked about it before.
On March 11th, Turning Red follows the story of Mei Li, a young Chinese-Canadian girl who finds herself in a not-so-subtle metaphor for female puberty, turning into a giant red panda anytime she finds herself overwhelmed with emotion. So we go down here, and then this is the Courtney Howard quote. It says, Howard offered a questionable commentary on February 21st, taking her personal Twitter to praise Turning Red as an early viewing of the film. Turning Red is hilarious, heartfelt, and unapologetically horny.
I just want to die a little bit.
It's weird because the characters are very young, but it's also a theme of I mean, we see movies where teens have premarital sex all the time.
I know, but I just want to die a little bit each time.
Remember every horror movie with teenagers having sex.
Christianity kicks in and they said you'll die.
And Christianity in the form of like Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers. So I mean, it's a weird commentary. It's a little bit uncomfortable. I don't know what she meant by it, but I wouldn't have ever said something like that.
The reason why she said it, so there's a boy band that's called Four Town in this movie.
Okay.
So preteen girl in boy band. Put the math together.
Yes. The posters in the room everywhere. So she right here, what they're doing is they're framing this as like what she said was creepy and pedophilic, I think is what they're trying to say, or that it's weird. She's just making an observation. Do I think it's an accurate obseration?
That's a terrible choice of words.
But I wouldn't have said it. But I'm not the thought police. I'm not the word police. But I did think it was a weird thing to say.
It's a weird choice of words. Instead of saying horny, could we use a different word? What's a different word?
Even then, I don't know if it's necessarily like I get why people are kind of taken aback by her using that language, but I'm hesitant to judge the lady. I don't know anything about the reviewer or what her past is. It's not my job to judge her, but it is weird to read something like that. But this is the story of a teenage girl who's going through puberty, so that's a word that kind of fits, even if it's uncomfortable, awkward, and not something we would ever say.
You're right, but if she got rid of that word, it still makes sense in her review.
Yes.
If you read it without the word. So Pixar's Turning Red is hilarious, heartfelt, and unapologetic, a sentimental story about parental problems, puberty, and pandas. See, it still makes sense.
Yep.
It still makes sense without the word.
Yep.
But
she could have been saying it for like not attention, but it draws eyes to what she's saying to her review. So I don't know.
More clicks.
Exactly. Like, I'm hesitant to give a hot take. Like I said, it's not a hot take on my part. I wouldn't have said something like that. But it is what it is. That's you're going to get into uncomfortable subject matter when you're talking about something as untoward in general as preteen sexual awakening and creepy stuff like that we don't want to think about because we're adults now. So it's not our job to think about that stuff because that's not what we're going through.
And I love it how they drew her stereotypically Asian.
Isn't the point of animation that you exaggerate the features to make a point?
But there was an article before where China got mad at this one animator who's from China that drew it like accurate how Chinese people look like.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised that Pixar actually drew it accurate. Like,
well, we'll see if there's plenty of time left for more. Actually, no, it's like Disney, so they probably won't get backlash because Disney owns the media companies.
Yeah.
So, well, we'll see.
But yeah, as you're saying, like that one girl that looks like the resting. She has the resting bitch face. It is funny because I actually do know some girls who look like that, but I give her props. I like her outfit. I might buy that outfit.
Okay. Well, we'll see if that happens. Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.